state your name, job, occupation, and highest level of degree earned.
Yeah, so my name is Neil Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a New Market Tax Credit and Historic Tax Credit Project Manager at U.S. Bank Community Development Corporation.
Mm-hmm.
And my highest level degree earned is a Master's of Business Administration with an emphasis in finance.
Okay. Do you believe that you would have been able to obtain your current position without getting a bachelor's degree? Why not?
Okay. I don't think I would have been able to be in my current position without a bachelor's degree,
Mm-hmm.
because that was a minimum requirement for the position,
Right.
and the knowledge that I needed to understand the day-to-day responsibilities I learned mostly in the classes I completed to earn my bachelor's degree.
Okay. Do you believe it had aided you in the path of success or not really made a difference?
I would say I definitely believe obtaining my bachelor's degree aided me in the path for success. Nowadays, a bachelor's degree is almost equivalent to what a high school diploma was like 10 or 15 years ago.
Right.
And I mean, now most entry-level corporate jobs require a minimum of a bachelor's degree to even apply. So
right.
even if you don't plan to work in corporate America, just starting your own business, taking some business or industry relevant classes, I think is critical for your long-term success in any field, really.
Right. Okay. Would your advice to a current undergraduate be to jump in the workforce to get the experience, or is a higher degree more valuable than work experience in undergrad?
I would advise a current undergrad to either find an internship, because I know what I did when I was working in undergrad was I interned at Colliers, Tully Morton Tucker, which is a big commercial real estate firm in St. Louis. It allowed me to get some experience under my belt. So while I was going to school, I was able to get that experience, and then after I graduated, I ended up getting offered a full-time job. But I do definitely recommend finding an internship or getting some other relevant experience in their field before starting grad school. Because I also believe that it provides the student with insight about where they want to focus their studies in grad school. Many times a specific job or industry may appear to be interesting or even lucrative, but once you are in a job within that industry, it may not be as pleasing. If you do find yourself loving a job from an internship, you can identify if getting an advanced degree is even necessary for you to continue to advance in that field.
Okay.
So what I would recommend would be to get a mentor who is successful in that field you're interested in pursuing, and most of the time they should be able to guide you in the right path, direction that you should take.
Okay. Which path of postgraduate education would you recommend? An example, like a master's, the MBA, law, PhD, or a combination, and why?
Yeah, so I really believe every industry is different. For example, if you want to practice law, you have to pursue a law degree. If you want to be a college professor, you may have to obtain a PhD from a college in order for you to even be considered for those type of positions. So it really depends on the industry that you are going into. From my experience, having an MBA degree just really set me apart from my peers, because everyone in my workplace has at least a bachelor's degree.
Right.
And like I said, just finding a good mentor will be valuable in guiding you in the right direction. And I also recommend reviewing job postings for positions that you may be interested in pursuing 5 to 10 years from now.
Right.
And if those positions require a specific degree, it may be worth the investment to obtain an advanced degree. But it's really up to that person and the industry and what your goals are long term. Because there's some positions like in the tech industry right now that bachelor degree can take you just as far as the master's degree Really, so you may want to get an MBA degree if you want to just be like a CEO or CFO of a company. But if you you really like being in the tech industry or working at the position that you're in, and not really be a manager, then I think even not having a bachelor's degree, not having a master's degree or any advanced degree is necessary.
Right.
If those type of industries you're in, and even if you want to start your own business, having an advanced degree may not be maybe not be worth the money, because getting a master's degree these days is very expensive.
Right. Okay. So what did you major in college, and what led you to that major?
Yeah, so in undergrad, actually, I ended up, when I got out of high school, I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do career-wise. So I ended up attending a trade school by the name of Rankin Technical College here in St. Louis, Missouri. And I took some electrical control systems. I got my associate's degree in electrical controls, and I found out that that's not something I want to do long term.
Right.
I know I wanted to work in the corporate setting. I wanted to work in the office, wear a suit every day and be at a desk and work with numbers. I know I was always pretty good in math. So I pursued a degree in business administration at Webster University.
Okay.
So I started there after I got my associate's degree. I started at Webster to get my bachelor's degree, and ended up getting a bachelor's degree in business administration. And like I was saying before, during that time, I was also interning at a commercial real estate firm. So I was learning, stuff in school, and also working at an internship and being able to apply that information correctly. So that really helped me out as far as being more motivated to learn, because I seen that it was practical and will help me long term in my career. So that was a very valuable experience for me. And then after that, I knew I wanted to get my skills specific towards finance.
Right.
So I decided to pursue a master's degree with the emphasis in finance from the same school, Webster University.
Okay.
And I ended up doing very well there, and that really helped propel me into the position I am now, because it set me apart from my peers and allowed me to gain some knowledge that I would have otherwise not had received.
Right.
If I had, foregone pursuing my master's degree.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it, Mr. Richardson. State your name, job occupation, and highest level degree earned.
Hi, my name is Taquandra Heath. I am a student, and I'm currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in public relations with a minor in sport management.
Okay. What's your plans after graduation?
My plans after graduation are to try and find a job in my career of choice. I am currently looking at internships in the sports and entertainment field. So ideally, I would like to land an internship in that field in an entry-level position, and then go on to move up so that I can constantly move up within that career and attain more success.
Okay. Do you think your bachelor's degree is sufficient enough to land your job that you desire? Why or why not?
I do believe my bachelor's degree is sufficient enough. I'm looking into becoming either a publicist or working in entertainment marketing. And originally, I was looking into law school and wanted to do sports and entertainment law. However, I recently went on for spring break, the LA immersion trip, where we met with over 40 top executives in the sport and entertainment industry. And my question to each and every one of those were, is a law degree really feasible at this point, and do they see that as a really good marketing tool for a candidate that's applying for a job? And each exec all gave me the same answer in terms of law degree really is not an option at this point, because it's a field that is heavily saturated, and there are so many lawyers that are without jobs, and some of those have gone to top level law schools. Like my ideal law school was USC because of their really strong entertainment and sports law program. However, so many students are actually suing their law schools for publishing numbers and percentages of students getting jobs right after they graduate from law school. However, those jobs have nothing to do with law. Instead, they're just getting jobs just to basically pay the bills, like working at Starbucks or little entry-level jobs, something that you wouldn't necessarily need a law degree for. So, basically, long story short, I've kind of cut that option out and not really considering law school anymore. And because the advice I was given was that experience is, once you get a bachelor's degree, then after that, experience is more valued than if you just get a law degree, unless you definitely want to practice law, which I don't know that. I just kind of thought it would be, better for me to have that because it would make me more marketable and would look better, but I've learned otherwise.
Okay. If you do not obtain a job, would you consider going back to school? Why or why not?
If I don't get a job, I would probably consider going back to school, but just to get my master's degree, since I am majoring in public relations, which is in the realm of communications, and I know that I definitely want to go into sports, I think I would probably go into a master's program, centered around sport management. I know, like, Georgetown has a really, really great master's program where they place you with a job in their athletic department while you're getting your degree, and it basically, like, pays for half of your degree costs to get your master's, and they have a concentration in communications and public relations marketing. So if I don't land a job, I would probably do that. Just as like a backup, but I'm hoping that, if I keep up my GPA and get a really good internship, that I'll be able to work my way up in that company after building relationships and showing that I have strong work ethic.
Okay. Do you ever think you would consider law again?
That's a good question. I don't know. As of right now, it's kind of out of my head, especially since I haven't had the burning passion to become a lawyer, but I just thought it would be a good idea.
Right.
But if I were to get a job and really realize that really wasn't what I wanted to do, then possibly I would consider it if I didn't fulfill, like it was my calling and that wasn't my purpose, and then maybe possibly I would think, okay, well, maybe I should go to law school. Or if I were to go to law school, it would definitely be after I've worked for some years, and then that would be basically like the start of a new level of my career, and where I would see, okay, I worked this job for X amount of years, but now I want to obtain a vice president or president position manager, and I need a law degree to get there if I realize that I want to deal with contracts, because I've always been interested in, like, representing athletes and, doing, like, publicity for them. So if I feel that a law degree would better suit me for that and I could do my job better, then possibly. Especially if I'm at a company that would be willing to assist me with those funds and kind of have, like, a go back to school program where they pay for you to go, like, part-time. So then it's a possibility, but as of right now, I don't really see that in my near future.
Okay. Do you feel that getting your bachelor's degree from Syracuse University will prepare you to land a job in the workforce?
I do. Sometimes I'm a little skeptical about that, and I always think, what if I went somewhere else? Would I have made different connections? But it is true that Newhouse and Syracuse in general does have a really strong alumni connection, and I've seen that just on, like, the trip I told you about that I did for California. We met with so many people that were Syracuse alums, and they were like, oh, just email me, reach out to me. I'll try to help you out in any way possible. Also, I do realize that a lot of different jobs or internships I'm applying for now, some of their requirements and what they will teach you how to do, I've already learned within some of my classes at Newhouse and in sport management. So I do think that Syracuse University, a lot of the programs have a strong curriculum that you can apply to the real world, especially in a lot of my PR classes. I deal with real world clients all the time, which is something I've noticed on my interviews employers really, really like, because it's kind of like, okay, you're in school, but you also have experience at the same time.
Right.
So I do think that it will prepare me to land a job. I just kind of have to put that foot forward and show how my personal characteristics and my experiences make me stand out to differentiate me from other applicants. So I do think, though, by earning a bachelor's degree from Syracuse University, it's a very prestigious school and highly accredited school. So I think I should be well off with that degree.
Okay. With all its success stories, for example, Steve Jobs and other billionaires that dropped out of college have obtained a high level of achievement, fortune, and fame. Do you ever reconsider the value of your bachelor's degree?
That's a good question. Sometimes I think about it in terms of, okay, they were really successful and they don't even have a bachelor's degree. And then I think, well, but all the people that they're hiring, or even as interns, are going to school and do have a bachelor's degree. So I feel like that, it would be awesome if I could just, like, come up with some really big idea and invent something, and, obviously that would be successful, and then I wouldn't necessarily need school. But at the same time, I think that's something that's very unique and special and gifted to them. And I do believe that if you have a passion and you have an idea and you have faith in that idea, and you feel that school isn't fulfilling you or helping you to excel or reach your full potential, then I definitely don't put Steve Jobs or anybody else down for dropping out if they feel that, their creativity was to like a higher caliber, that school and going to class wasn't fulfilling and it was actually hindering them rather than helping them.
Right.
I totally, I kind of admire them for taking that courage to drop out and defy the odds, and now they've, been successful. However, for those of us that may not be gifted in that realm, and that, school sometimes is difficult and challenging, but I do think for most of us it is beneficial, especially if you don't have a really big idea for something that you want to invent, then you need school because you need that degree in order to, really excel and go further and achieve success. So for me personally, Steve Jobs and all the other billionaires and Bill Gates and stuff, kudos to them for all that they've done, but I need to stay in school in order to, become successful.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you, Miss Heath. I really appreciate your time and intake on everything. State your name, job occupation, and highest level of degree earned.
Okay, my name is Sandra Harris. My occupation, I am manager of contract administration, and the highest level degree I've earned is a high school diploma.
Okay.
I've taken courses and have certificates and other things, but that's the highest level degree that I have.
Okay, what other things are
Well, I've taken Excel courses. I've taken courses at my job for hazmat certification. Just a couple business courses, banking courses through the course of my career. I've done, I've taken a few different classes, but as far as a degree, my high school degree is it.
Okay. Has that held you back or propelled you further or not made a difference either way? By not having a bachelor's degree?
Well, it hasn't made a difference on my current job. But yeah, it does hold me back somewhat. it's a different time now than when I was growing up. So,
Right.
Now you're around other people who, they have bachelor's degrees, or you feel kind of, I won't say inadequate, but at the same time, you're like, damn,
Right.
you wish you did have that degree at some point in time. I mean, back then you could get a good job with a high school diploma, but that's not necessarily the case now. So It's not holding me back on my current job, but to me personally, it bothers me.
Okay.
At times.
Right. If you were to go back and receive your bachelor's degree after receiving that degree, what would you go on to get? Your master's, MBA, law, your PhD, or a combination of?
Well, at this point in my life and the age that I am, it would just be my bachelor's degree.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think I would go any further. And if I were younger now and didn't have it, then I would pursue with a master's after that.
Okay. After obtaining that bachelor's degree, do you feel it would enable you to become more successful? And if so, how?
Yeah, so, well, first of all, I would have that feeling of accomplishment. It would make me feel better. And with the job situation as it is now, and like I said, now it's a different time where now you need more than 10% in order to get a good job to go on. And at the same time, while I have a managerial position where I am now, and it really doesn't matter, but my job, we've gone through several different layoffs, and I haven't been affected by that at this point in time. But if I had been, or at any time I could be, if I had a degree, it would make me more marketable and easier to find another job. But at this point in time, I would be kind of worried if I got let go from my job right now because of the fact that all jobs now want you to have a degree. They want you to have a master's degree, a PhD. I mean, what I'm saying?
Right.
Some kids who have bachelor's degrees still can't find good jobs. So where would that leave me at this point in time if I had to seek new employment? You know what I'm saying? So of course it would serve me better if I had one at this point in time.
Okay. If you was to go back to school, what would you major in?
Probably criminal justice.
Okay.
If I had to say it off the top of my head, it would probably be criminal justice because I kind of like that. Maybe I would look into something like being a paralegal or something like that.
Okay. What advice would you give to a current college student right now?
To stay in school, especially football players. I mean, you're getting a free education. I mean, I would say stay in school to get your master's degree and work hard to be all that you can, especially if you're a black student. You're going to need to work harder than the next student, so you need to learn all you can, take advantage of everything that you can, all the programs that you can to get that education so that you can go out and you can land you not only a job, but get a career that maybe one day you can have a business of your own, so you don't always have to work for somebody else. It's not a matter of landing a good job. You want something that can be yours one day, so you don't have to work for somebody else.
Right.
That's what I would do.
Okay, do you believe...
If I could do it all over again, that's what I would do.
Okay. Do you think that a bachelor's degree is obsolete? Will ever become obsolete?
A bachelor's? Well, I don't know, because they want you to have people with master's degrees now are working in McDonald's. So, it's like six hand and half a dozen than the other. But if you don't have those degrees, you can't get your foot in the door.
Right.
So you may not even get a chance to get that interview. Now, to me, does it really matter? I mean, I would say no, but the establishment says otherwise. So you're going to need all that you can get in order to just to get your foot in the door.
Right, right.
And the way people are hiring now is, I was just speaking with someone today at a luncheon. The way people are hiring now, you know, you used to apply for a job. You could, if they liked your application, you would interview with the department head or the manager. Now you have everything is done online, and it's recruiters that's looking through your job application, and they don't necessarily even know the job. So if they don't like you, your application doesn't even get passed on. You see what I'm saying? So it's much harder now. So if you have that bachelor's and if you have that master's and that PhD, then it's going to help you
right
a little bit more.
Okay. If you was hiring, would you prefer someone having 10 years of experience or someone with a bachelor's degree and a master's degree?
I guess I can only speak for my situation. So I guess the experience would matter to me, but I guess ultimately what it should be based on maybe a little bit of both.
Right.
You know, but to me, if I need somebody right away, and I need somebody to know what they're doing, experience is going to trump it for me. But at the same time, how's the kid going to get experience if you don't give him a shot? So,
right,
you know, it's kind of a double sword. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Harris, and I really appreciate your time and your insight on everything, and I really appreciate it.
No, you're quite welcome, Corey.
All right.